Right now at 4, there are 2 confirmed measles cases in the state of Arkansas, what we know as the outbreak continues to spread across the U.S. And the U.S. trade war escalating as China now announcing it is raising tariffs on U.S. goods. How the administration is responding.
Covering news where you live. This is 5 News First at 4.
U of A is now among schools that are being impacted by Department of Homeland Security terminations of student visas. Thanks for joining us for your 5 News First at 4. I'm Darren Bobb. According to U of A spokesperson John Thomas, the Students Exchange Visitor Information System, or SEVIS, records were terminated by the DHS. If a student's SEVIS record is terminated, their visa becomes invalid immediately. Visas can be canceled for a number of different reasons, but college leaders say the government has been quietly terminating students' legal residency status with little notice to schools or to students.
It's been a fantastic day outside across the area, and you can see beautiful sunny skies, just a couple clouds off in the distance. Sunny, 67 at Bentonville, with a light wind right now around 12 miles an hour. But throughout the day, it's been up to 30 at times, so it has been a breezy one. But once we head into this evening, that'll start to calm down. 75 in Fort Smith, right around 17 miles an hour, beautiful clear skies. It has been a perfect day in terms of the temperatures and the conditions, but those winds have been a little bit annoying at times. Here's a look at those winds across the region. Just a little bit higher winds in the River Valley, but like I mentioned, throughout the evening, it's going to start to decrease, leading to a pleasant evening, especially since we have some more Naturals baseball. We'll have a look at that forecast coming up here in just a little bit with more details on the comfortable weather. We have some winds on Sunday, and the quiet pattern continues, but for how long? More on that here coming up.
All right, Joshua, thanks. We are hearing from the Arkansas Department of Health now after the agency confirmed 2 pediatric cases of measles in the state yesterday. ADH says both of the patients were unvaccinated. These are the first confirmed measles cases in the state since 2018. Health Department also says both patients were exposed during out-of-state travel, but have not said where they went. Now, the confirmed cases are in Saline and Faulkner County. Dr. Jennifer Dillahay with ADH says exposure occurred at clinics and hospitals. She adds, though, they are working to track down anyone else who may have been exposed.
We have been collaborating with those clinics to get a list of all the people who were there, and those healthcare facilities are following up and contacting those people, and then we are then following up with them to let them know about what they can do.
Symptoms of measles include fever, cough, runny nose, and of course that rash. President Trump says his trade policies are working, with dozens of countries asking for new trade deals. Markets are rebounding at the end of a tumultuous week on Wall Street, with the president's tariffs sending stocks on a wild ride. Meanwhile, China remains defiant in an escalating trade war, calling U.S. tariffs a joke. This week, the president ratcheted up tariffs on Chinese imports to as much as 145%. China responded with 125% tariffs on U.S. goods starting tomorrow.
China continues to retaliate. It's not good for China. The United States of America is the strongest, best economy in the world.
Today, China slammed the president's trade policy, saying it violates basic economic laws and common sense. The White House says trade negotiators are working around the clock on 15 new trade deals. Federal investigators trying to determine what caused that deadly helicopter crash in New York City that was caught on video. Do want to warn you, the video caught of the crash may be disturbing. Bradley Blackburn reports 6 people died in the tragedy, including a family that was visiting from Spain and the chopper's 36-year-old pilot.
We do not have a preliminary cause.
Dive teams hit the frigid waters of New York's Hudson River Friday, trying to recover additional pieces of the sightseeing helicopter.
We are looking for the main rotor and the tail rotor right now.
Cell phone video captured terrifying moments of the chopper in free fall before it crashed into the water Thursday afternoon.
Oh my gosh!
Pieces of the Bell 206 aircraft, including its main rotor blades, splashed down moments later.
The propeller just exploded and scattered, right? And then after that, we saw the plane was just spiraling down.
Late yesterday, recovery crews hoisted the chopper's fuselage from the river using a floating crane and recovered the pilot and 5 passengers. Augustine Escobar, an executive at technology company Siemens, and his wife had taken the flight with their 3 children.
It's very sad to hear that people coming from vacation and then they end up this way.
The company, New York Helicopter, operated the flight, which took off from Lower Manhattan at 2:59 p.m. According to the NYPD, it passed the Statue of Liberty, flying north up the Hudson River, then turned around and headed back south, losing control near the New Jersey shoreline.
We did issue a set of recommendations to improve safety in this area.
National Transportation Safety Board investigators will be combing through the recovered wreckage as well as videos that captured the accident and the chopper's safety records to determine what happened. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
CBS News spoke to the CEO of New York Helicopter, who says he is devastated by that deadly crash. When asked about how often or recent the helicopter was inspected, he said, quote, "We follow all the rules and more." Today, a U.S.-Russian dual citizen back in the U.S. after being held in a Russian prison for more than a year. Kosina Karolina was greeted by family and friends as well as White House officials after the plane landed at the Joint Base Andrews in Maryland. Karolina was detained last February while visiting family in Russia. She was arrested for donating $51.80 to a U.S.-based charity that supports Ukraine. This was the second prisoner swap between the current Trump administration and Russia. In February, American school teacher Mark Fogel was released. It's been almost 100 days since Fayetteville welcomed a new mayor. 5 News reporter Morgan Wrigley sat down one-on-one with Mayor Molly Ron to talk about how it's going so far.
Can you give some examples of how, in your first 100 days, that you've made city government more transparent?
When I think about my values, I also talked a lot during that State of the City about efficiency. And I want to talk about how in my first 100 days, I believe we have made the process more efficient, of just the process of governing, the way that we receive resident input, the way that we internally manage our city council agendas, just improving the efficiency of that without sacrificing the quality of the work that we do while still maintaining transparency has been something that has been very important to our entire team here at the city. And you know, some of those changes may not be visible to people immediately out in the public, but the goal is that as we put those process improvements in place to make things more efficient, that the end result and the product of how we're serving our residents is better.
We will be airing that full interview with Molly Ron tonight at 8 o'clock on 5+. If you want to know how to download it to your smart TV, text the number there on your screen. We'll send instructions on how to download it so you can watch this. Well, the Walmart Amp getting ready for its first show of the season tonight. This a live pic from our Mercy Rogers cam. Concert season gets started with the Treaty Oak Revival. It all begins at 7 o'clock tonight. Gates open at 5:30. Happening this weekend, the Bentonville Farmers Market returns on the Bentonville Square. It's all getting going tomorrow morning at 7:30 bright and early, where you can find fresh produce from local vendors. Farmers Market starts back up tomorrow and will run through October 25th.